So the latest Dragon's Dogma 2 dev notes is up, and this time Hideki is talking about the height and weight options for Dragon's Dogma 2 and how those tie into character creation and also how the game plays. So the quote here is, "We greatly increased the options in our character creator and wanted to make it simple to create an appealing character. We scanned in nearly 80 faces for base head variations, and like with the first game, height and weight affect how they play." Now that's a pretty unique feature to a game, is to think about the fact that the weight and the height of your character directly affects things like encumbrance, how much you can carry, your regen rates, and so on and so forth. If you go over to the Dragon's Dogma wiki, they actually, and this is obviously for the first game, but you can get an idea of what this looks like by taking a look at the formulas that were used in the first game. But essentially, the amount of weight a character has not only determines the appearance of a character, but also affects its stats. Weight of a character also has a significant effect on its encumbrance and stamina usage and regen rates. Lighter characters restore faster, enabling them to be more energetic, while larger characters have a larger carrying capacity, so can carry more at the same encumbrance level, and by extension move relatively faster in heavy armor, but they are overall slower per se because they're larger. Character weight is affected by a number of factors such as character height, character build, and musculature. So when you're creating your character for the first time in Dragon's Dogma 2, you have to pay attention to the size, the weight, the musculature of your character, because that is going to impact how your character plays, how much your character could carry, how well your character moves in combat, how fast you regen. So they've got a table here, and it says character weight, weight class, base stamina, stamina restoration, stamina consumption, maximum encumbrance. So if you were in Dragon's Dogma 1, as an example, if you were under 50 weight, your encumbrance would be 40, but you have a 125% stamina restoration buff rate with a base of 500. Really cool. Then go all the way to the large, and you see that you only have a 75% stamina restoration rate, but you can carry up to 100 instead of only 40. So it's a pretty big difference. So that's something to bear in mind when you're looking at what they've got here. Let's go ahead and expand on this and just take a better look at this. We've got height, torso length, muscle style, muscle strength, traps size, upper body muscle mass, lower body muscle mass, upper body size, lower body size, and then of course you'll be able to create a whole bunch of other options in here. So you definitely need to think about what you're going to be playing, because I know if you're going to be playing like a massively, it's kind of interesting because in a lot of other games you would choose a character like a character model, right? But then you would have stats, and those stats would dictate what you are. This is more akin to like looking at, say, the NBA 2K franchise, which I love, because in that game there are things like, you know, your arm length, which dictates how well you are at like blocking and things and stealing the ball. And then there's things like your actual height, determining how well you're going to be able to dunk the ball. Like, yes, you have stats, but you also have body features that factor into your character's overall abilities. So this is what I come back to. You know, there may be little things that I didn't really care for too much in Dragon's Dogma 1, but overall, what got me really interested in the second game was the deep mechanics of the first game. And this is just sort of like this is like the tip of the iceberg in terms of the type of mechanics that have gone into the Dragon's Dogma world, because you have things like body size and musculature affecting your character's performance in the field. So it's way more than just stats. Stats are important. You've got your vocation, there's stats there, but this, like trap size, like, you know, how well can you swing your arm? If you're super muscular, it's like the guys who can't scratch their back, you know, they can't reach the middle of their shoulder blades because they're so muscular. They're like, heh, heh, heh. That's what we're talking about here. So cool stuff. I don't know, and I haven't looked at that deep into the character creator that they gave us for offline mode. I don't know how much of this is impacting directly the stats that your character has, in terms of, can you see that when you're building your character, or is that something where you're only going to see it after the fact because they're tied to vocations? I don't know anything about that yet. But from what I've seen so far, it's all shaping up to be pretty richly detailed, and I can't wait to dive in. We're almost there. Friday morning. We're going to be starting bright and early, so hopefully you're ready for that. I got an alarm set just like I do every single morning, 4 a.m. But normally I'd be doing video production from about 5 in the morning to about 9 o'clock in the morning. But we're going to be starting our days off with some Dragon's Dogma 2 streams starting on Friday morning. We're going to be doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday pretty much all day, every day. We're going to start early, 5 a.m. Central Time, somewhere in that ballpark, 5 to 6 a.m. We're going to go for a few hours, take a break from our morning walk, my breakfast, shower, come back, do a late afternoon into a late morning, early afternoon stream, and then beyond. There's a whole post up on my schedule, so check that out. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. We're going to continue to publish news, patch notes, previews, all sorts of fun stuff as we lead up to the game. And then, of course, once it goes live, we'll be getting into the game guides, the tips and tricks videos, the big bad boss fights, and all the things I do for all the games I play. So hopefully that sounds fun to you. Daily streams here and on Twitch. There's a Patreon and Discord. Check out the links below. See everybody in the next one. Cheers, everybody.